and welcome to your mat. My name is Tessa and I'll guide you through a funky flow. Now, I say that these flows are freediver flows specifically because they target things like intercostal opening, shoulder opening, strength through quads, ankle mobility, and of course, sprinkled options for apnea. If you choose to opt into apnea, bear in mind, lungs should be about 80% full while we're flowing through apnea. If you were to fill to 100 and then moving through funky shapes, you could risk causing tissue damage or even pop a lung. So please flow safe, listen to your body, and let's begin. Get started into a Shavasana, corpse pose. Lay down, let your body be supported by the ground. Gather your shoulder blades together, draw down the back. Maybe a micro tuck into the pelvis to remove any type of exaggerated bend in the lower spine. Palms and feet are both loose and heavy. And take a few moments here to settle into the space around you. And close down the eyelids. Settle into self. Say, hey, how you going? What does the inner landscape of you look like today? Next time you exhale, knit the ribs in, squeeze the lungs tight at the bottom to get every drop of air out, and then a big inhale. Fill belly, fill ribs, and fill collarbones up to the very top. Slight pause before open mouth exhale. Little flutter into the toes and fingers. And then bend into right knee, clasp around outside of shin. Pull knee in towards body while avoiding the rib cage. Roll out through right ankle. And in this compression pose here, we're giving a massage to ascending colon. With left palm, grip onto right knee, pull yourself into a twist. Right knee carries over body and release arms out to a T. Gaze can be wherever it finds comfort. Maybe that's the back of your eyelids. Maybe your eyes are still closed. Follow your body further and let yourself roll all the way over onto left shoulder. We're coming into a half frog shape. Ardha Mandukasana. Now, if at any point you feel sharpness in the body, that is a signal to give a little bit more space, to back off just a skosh. So if you need to create more space, go right ahead. We'll unravel ourselves the same way we came in. Roll back onto back body, and then kick up through right leg, circle out through ankle. And float the leg back down, let it land. Bend into left knee, clasp around shin. This time, as we pull into body, we're giving a massage down descending colon. And circle out through the left ankle. Pull tight. And then find the twist. Right hand grabs onto knee. And let left knee drape over body. Arms find a T. And when we find ourselves in twists of any form, think of it as a lengthening through lower spine and a turn through upper. That's just the way that our bones meet each other. That's how we can get the most length out of our twist. Roll over onto right shoulder. Half frog with a shoulder stretch here. Feel free to be completely laid down on belly, or press yourself up slightly if you'd like to create a little bit more space for right shoulder. One more deep cycle of breath. And let your exhale unravel you back to back body. Left leg kicks high, circle out through ankle. Left heel drops back to mat. Find Lord of the Fishes. So come up onto either forearms or palms. Some variation that is shining heart forward as if it could press through sternum. First option for apnea flow. If so, take a breath in. Gently hold as you dip right side and then over to left. Find some type of smooth rhythm within your body and follow that as you sway side to side. Neck can be heavy, neck can be rolling. There's really not a lot of rules. And when you find yourself breathing again, come tall. Bend into right knee, stack over top. We'll find a cow face pose. So right knee is on top. We'll bend into right arm. Left hand clasps on the elbow. Crown of head pulls into the space above. Maybe gaze even shifts over towards right side to give more space in the neck. Plant the hands as you unravel into a three-legged table. Left knee planted down, right leg kicks back. Circle out through ankle here. Find strength and stability in the way your hands are connected to the ground. Palms find four corners, and finger pads act as little spider fingers. Right knee taps right elbow, kick back. Tap once more, kick back. This time tap and hold for 3, 2, 1, step all the way through, find Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Left knee connects with ground and energy sinks through hips. Find a tallness in your spine. And then arms sweep back, airplane wings, left knee picks up, arrowhead pose. In breath, tall. And step it to chair pose, Utkatasana. Strength through the core, and find yourself all the way back down to seat. A brief stint in a bent knee variation of Lord of the Fish. Maybe this time knees flop to opposite side as you juice into shoulder joints. One more each side. And then it's cow face, this time with left leg bent, stacking over top of right. Bend into left elbow, right palm catches. Gaze can be straight ahead, or maybe you turn towards the left. Maybe that feels like a more accessible point of joint in the neck. Really grow tall through the spine. Before you plant hands to top of mat, unravel yourself, three-legged table. This time, right knee plants, left knee kicks back. Engage through the glutes and roll through the ankle. Left knee taps left elbow, kick back. Tap again, knee meets. Kick strong. Third tap and hold. Left knee is reaching towards left armpit. And then step it on through Anjaneyasana, low crescent lunge. Right knee grounded for stability, right toes tucked under for even more. Our torso is one strong line of energy, as if it was rooted to the ground and reaching to the sky. Sweep arms, black airplane wings, arrowhead. Right knee lifts. In breath, arms sweep high. Ashta Chandrasana, high crescent lunge. Use the strength in your left leg. Come forward, chair pose. Take any micro tuck away from lower spine. As you lower yourself all the way down, find a variation of boat. That might be bent knees, it might be straight. For me today it's not, personally. And we'll scissor ourselves down. So, legs, arms, cross. As we lower, find low boat. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Legs up and seaweed. Let the ankles roll, let the knees lead your legs through some floppy version of seaweed. And then plant the heels down. Check that fingertips just barely brush. We'll set up for one round of bridge pose. Again, option here for some apnea. If you'd like to, inhale, lift the hips high, and hold. Keep a micro tuck through the pelvis, so not to be rainbowing up through the hips. We want to create one strong line of energy that goes from the knees down through front body and to shoulders. No weight in the neck here. It's the tops of your shoulders that are taking the weight. Create your stability. And hold in this position until you reach only that first point of discomfort. We're not wanting to go through heaps of contractions in the hold. It's simply a hello to your CO2. And once you're there, ripple body back down. In absolutely no rush whatsoever, our next meeting shape is downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Roll yourself forward, hands plant shoulder width apart, feet hip width, hips pull towards sky. Belly button draws in towards spine, eyes of elbows seeing forward. Right leg, kick high. Three-legged. Shift yourself forward, three-legged plank. Point strong through right toes. Engage through entire back body, glute, calf, and gently place foot back down. Option for a short apnea while we lower ourselves down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Belly meets earth, fingertips spread wider than top of mat. In breath, baby back bend. Exhale to dip right shoulder. Come back center and dip left. I encourage you to connect your inhales and exhales somehow, lovingly, to sew these shapes together. We'll dip once more on each side. And then come center. Hands can come in a bit closer, forearms for stability. Forearms or palms, honestly, whatever's sitting well in your body. Bend into, or tuck right toes, point through left leg, and we'll go for pulses here. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and on 1, hold the kick back, bend into left knee, left hand reaches around. We are in an Ekapada Supta Najaradasana, potentially a one-footed laid down dancer's pose. Keep hips evenly grounded here and round through spine. Release the clasp and let the bend of the knee roll you over. Option for wild thing. Left fingertips reach and gently come back around, upward facing. Your option to move through a vinyasa or ripple knees back straight to Adho Mukha, downward facing dog. This time left toes kick back, three-legged. Keep the strength and the kick while you shift yourself forward, find plank. Keep one strong line of energy going from crown of head through tailbone and toes. Let left toes meet mat. Lower yourself down, slow as molasses. Elbows tuck in towards body. Belly. Fingertips broaden to wider than mat. Lift in the chest. Just 2 shoulder dips here. Dip right, dip left, and back center. Point through right toes and tuck through the left for stability. 10 pulses. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and hold. Point, kick strong through right toes. Bend into right knee. Right hand reaches around to grab onto ankle. A supine version of dancer pose. Engage muscles all throughout the spine and gently release. Option, let right toes drip down, lead you into wild thing. Hips rainbow high, right fingertips to reach. And just as smoothly as you got there, unravel upward facing, Urdhva Mukha. Bend into knees, ripple into spine, downward facing dog. We'll move through one more funky flow before slowing it down. Right toes lift and kick high. This time, we're aiming for a chin stand prep. So, with the toes incredibly engaged and glutes as well, come forward, chaturanga, tap chin. Drop right toes, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Press yourself back, hover the knees, find length through fingertips and spine. Jump towards top of mat, land in chair pose, Utkatasana. Hands come to prayer. Right elbow wraps around left knee for a twist. Keep an equal relationship, a reciprocal relationship going between elbow and knee to press against each other so that you can step right foot back, find yourself in a twisted lunge shape. Stay here exactly as you are, or you can grow arms to wings. Find yourself torso tall. Keep the twist. And we'll water wheel ourselves over, big transition into warrior two. Back foot 45 degrees, torso stacks tall, fingertips reach equal and opposite direction. Hands to frame out front foot, standing split. If handstand is in your practice, you're more than welcome to play with some jumps here. Maybe play with the balance. Left hand wraps around left leg. Plant both feet. Let yourself be heavy. Fingertips plant, half lift. Exhale to fall. In-breath all the way tall. And step it back. Your version, Vinyasa. Move it through. Upward facing. Tuck onto toes. Find downward dog, Adho Mukha. Last side, last funky movements. Left toes reach, kick high. Keep the strength and the length and the height in left leg as you shift upper body forward to chaturanga, chin taps. Left toes then meet mat, Urdhva Mukha, upward facing. Tuck onto toes, hover the knees. We're in a floating variation of a child's pose of sorts. Deep bend in the knees, jump forward. Chair. Arms airplane wings, then come to prayer. This time, left elbow wraps around right knee. Find a twist. And before taking any further movement, find strength and stability in the connection that elbow and knee are meeting each other with. Once you've got that, left leg can step back long. Twisted lunge. Keep the prayer or open up the wings. In either variation, find your torso tall. Keep the twist. Arms now reach out, back stroke, shift, Virabhadrasana 2. Right fingertips point long, left are pulling you back. Water wheel frame out, right foot, half split, standing split, apologies. Your choice to play with the balance here or to play with a kick into handstand if that's something you're working on in your practice. 2 more cycles of breath in this shape. And then deliver both feet to ground. Big toes touch. All 4 corners of feet are strong. Let your head be heavy. And in an incredibly deep and intentional breath, ripple the spine. Stack yourself tall. Tadasana, mountain pose. Find a moment of pause here as a little signal to the body that we're going to start to cool it down. Now, feet stay exactly as they are, or if you'd like a bit of a balance challenge, come up onto balls of feet. We are slowly and smoothly taking ourselves down into a small ball, small as you can. Once you reach bottom, left leg out long, right knee to come across for the twist. Left elbow hooks onto right knee. Right fingers act as a kickstand, and we twist through upper spine, grow through lower. Gaze reaches towards right shoulder. Release the twist, come center. Floppy Lord of the Fish. And a couple of sways out here. And then keep the right leg long, left knee bends over top for twist on the second side. Right elbow to connect with left knee. Our left hand is a beautiful kickstand. Helps us keep our stability, but helps us keep our length and our height in the spine. Gaze as if you could look over top of left shoulder. And yes, that's an as if. That may not be accessible for everybody. It's not accessible for me personally. And unravel. Supta Baddha Konasana. Soles of feet meet each other. First, grow tall, and then let your body sink forward. Once you've found the first point of depth, the first point of tension, I encourage you to stop there. Let your elbows press onto legs, potentially giving a little more wake up to the hip. And if it feels good, permission to let the neck be heavy. Let it roll side to side. And from this shape, we'll go into a wide-legged forward fold. So that legs be long, and let your torso fold to whatever depth is calling you today. This one gets to be lazy. You don't need to be active through it. The only thing I ask is that heels are pressed into ground, toes pointed up to keep the correct rotation in legs, not to cause any injury here. And maybe you fold down and can stack your fists to create a pillow for forehead. Or maybe you've got some blocks at home that you can rest your forehead onto. Somehow, some way, settle. And at this point of class, it's that magical, any last poses. Any shape that we didn't take that your body really feels it needs, this is your invitation to go there. If you feel like your fascia has been sufficiently stretched out, then the next place I invite you is Shavasana. Make this a bit more wide, a bit lazier than that at the start of class. Maybe it means losing hair ties or watch off of wrist. Take your hair down. Maybe put a layer back on. Anything that is going to help you be totally cozy here, because this is the reward. This, as boring as the mind might think it is, this is what the body goes, oh, how good. Get to lay down, relax, and soak up all of that freshly oxygenated blood that you've just spent so much time creating. It is quite the treat. I'll leave us here for several rounds of breath in silence, but don't worry, I'll wake you back up. Before you make any sudden movements, start to deepen out breath. Full belly inhales and open mouth exhales. A wiggle or a roll into ankles and wrists. Now there's always the invitation to keep in Shavasana. I don't want to move you from this place if you've got the time and capacity to stay. But if you like to close your practice in a seat, I will meet you there. And hands first come to heart center. Thumbs to third eye. Trace the face, pause at the lips. And trace the chin to stop at the heart. And I hope that through the rest of your day, you're able to carry with you a curious mind, witful words, and a humble heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you for sharing your practice. And I will see you next flow.